And hello, Warriors fans. Welcome inside the WLC Media Center as we are pleased to spotlight another Football Player of the Week, the special teamer in the NACC. For his performance at Lakeland is Arnulfo Ortega. Congratulations, Arnulfo, first on the award. A big win for the team at Lakeland. Let's start there because it was a historic day. First time the Warriors ever won at Taylor Field. What was that post-game locker room like?
It was fun. It was exciting. We had planned to go in there and execute and win. We had known that we hadn't won there in the past years, so just that kind of chip in our back to go in there, knowing we were capable of doing it and coming out with the dub. It was exciting.
Your performance, you hit 2 of 2 field goals from 36 and 38. You hit all 3 of your PATs. That 38-yarder with about $1.42 left proved to be the difference. I mean, you guys win 33-31, but those 3 points, in essence, the game-winning field goal. Take us through your performance, how you thought you performed on Saturday personally.
I always just go in there with the mindset of just doing my job. Make the kicks. I have one job, and that's make the ball go through the yellow goalpost. So just going in there knowing I had a big chip on my back. I know in my career I've never missed against Lakeland, and I know it could have happened my senior year. So and something about just wanting to beat them that week, it was just hit, a little bit harder. So being there for the guys, I always told Coach Tresky, even when I was being recruited, I have one job, and if the team doesn't leave the field with 7 and we're in field goal range, I'll do my job and make sure we go out there with 3 at least.
Coach and I this season have talked about you as a weapon. There have been years in the 24 prior years of Warriors football where they haven't had a reliable kicker. And when you don't, it changes everything. Play calling is impacted. I mean, I don't know if fans realize the weapon you are. Have you always had the leg? What's the backstory in becoming the greatest kicker the Warriors have ever had?
I grew up playing soccer my whole life, so it really just a soccer background. And then in high school, sophomore, junior year, I got more into it. Senior year is when I decided I wanted to play college. So that's when I started. It was always self-trained only because when the times I was going to go to camps is when COVID happened. So I never got the chance to, train with coaches and stuff like that. So just a lot of YouTube, just watching and seeing how I could get better. And then coming into college, Coach Foss, and obviously working with Coach Zahner, who is a kicking coach who I've trained with, who has helped a whole lot. They both have, been able to put me where I am. And a lot of credit to the guy that was here when I got here, Tony Ziegler, who was a kicker a year older than me. I mean, he taught me a lot, and I would say that a lot of things that I learned and the situation I'm in right now wouldn't be possible without them 3.
Well, you mentioned a name there, Coach Zahner, who, longtime NFL special teams coach. I mean, he is a guru of gurus. Talk about the relationship you have with Coach Zahner and all the knowledge that he's been able to share with you in your career.
Yeah.
What a great, valuable asset.
Yeah, most definitely. Coach Zahner has been a great help to where I'm at now for my freshman through senior year. I mean, you don't learn, it's hard to understand the smallest details when it comes to kicking until you train with Coach Zahner. Like, he'll tell you move half an inch forward, move half an inch to the side, hit the ball this type of way, look up, follow this way, and you really start doing, you're like, oh wow, this works. Like,
even a half
impressive.
inch.
Yeah, a half inch. I mean, it's insane. He's a great coach, a great person, definitely a person who you will learn a lot out of.
You have made more field goals than any other kicker in the history of the program. You've made more PATs than any kicker in the history of the program. You've scored more points than any player in the history of the program. When you have all those accolades, does that add pressure, or do you find yourself in those pressure-packed situations? Not that you're thinking of those records in the moment, but do you find some pressure on your shoulders?
Not really. I mean, I really try not to think about it. Just like I said, doing my job. Once you obviously start to realize, all right, well, I've done this, then I've done these things for a reason. So I like to just, when I step in that field, just think, all right, you've done this. You've been able to accomplish all of this for a reason. So it's pretty cool just to know that you've been able to do those accomplishments. But at the end of the day, I just kick the ball, like I said. I got to make it. If I get one kick in the game, I got to make it. 1 through 5, whatever.
You make it sound so easy. Just kick it through those yellow goalposts.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the mechanism of a field goal, or PAT for that matter. Let's talk about your snapper, Elijah Chevy. Let's talk about your holder, Mr. Hidalgo, and how you have to work in symphony with those two guys. Tell us about that process.
I mean, both of them. Without them, none of the accomplishments this season would be possible. Chev, me and him have a very tight connection outside the field too, so we have...
Which is important, I bet,
we
on
have
the field.
Very great bonding. I mean, he's a guy who I say this, I think he's the best snapper in the nation. I put that hands down. Hidalgo was also a great holder. Came in this year and just I was like, I think I want this guy as my holder. So
what is it about, let's just take this piece by piece for a second. What is it first about the snap that has to be perfect for you? What is it?
Chev always puts it right on the time, right where it needs to be. Obviously, we have a procedure time. We always want to be under 1-2, 1-3 at slowest. So he always gets it there when it has to be there. And it's a little things like we talked about with Coach Honor. He'll tell you flip the laces this way so it could land right there, so you won't have to spin the ball. Little things like that, and it's always there. So
and then for the holder Hidalgo, what does he need to do to put you in the perfect spot?
So basically a pre-kick, I just always tell him, all right, like the ball in a certain place, he puts it down right there. Always goes through his mechanics, and it's just really, really comfortable knowing that I have those group of guys who I know they're going to do the job. And at the end of the day, if I miss, I always say it's on me. It's on no one else but me, whether it's blocked or anything. It's my kick. So,
what are the perfect conditions, weather conditions, field conditions for a kick in your mind, if you could script it?
I like a little bit of wind behind my back.
Okay.
I don't really turf. Turf is fine.
We don't
really play in grass, so we'll be at Rockford this year, so it'll show there. But I don't really matter. Turf, a wind behind my back is always really, really nice. It always helps you.
Range, how far? What is your deepest kick in practice or in warm-ups? I'm curious.
So in
Give
practice,
us a range, like real quick. If you're the coach, if you're Tresky or you're head coach Ortega. When are you in Arnulfo range?
So on Saturday, actually, with the wind behind my back, I know we were about 52, 53 yards possibility. And then with the wind obviously coming at me, it was like a 30-yarder, 35-yarder, around there. But when I have some wind behind my back, it definitely helps a whole lot. Yeah.
So how does that pregame process work? You're one of the first guys, maybe the first guy out there, maybe to test everything. Take us through your pregame rituals and your setup, and then will you come and talk with Coach Tresky about how you're feeling and what you think your range is that day? How does all that work?
So basically, the guy is Coach Foss. He's the one who comes out with me, charts our kicks, sees our time, whether we got to be faster or we're right on the money. And after that, also moving around, left hash preference, right hash preference, and then distance, he'll tell Coach Tresky. He'll do all the communicating to Coach Tresky. So, yeah.
Yeah, we should mention the way the Warriors coaching staff divvies up the special teams responsibilities. Mike Fossum is kind of your direct boss, your direct kicking coach, as it were. Let's take a step off the field for just a second. You're a marketing major, you're a senior. The real world is calling, and it's coming fast. What are your post-graduation plans? Might you try to kick professionally somewhere, or if not that, what are the plans?
If the opportunity is given, it would be definitely a pretty cool thing to do, just keep playing football. But
and
obviously,
paid for it.
Yeah.
That's not bad either.
But obviously, it's the real world, and I would say I'm fine with the football I've played. It's been fun being able to enjoy these last years. I want to be able to actually, I'm from Texas, but I plan to stay up here, get a job, a marketing job, and just go into the field and start the real world, enjoy life.
So you're going to stay here in the cold?
Yeah, pretty much.
We were talking before we got started about your backstory and being recruited here, and you said on your recruiting trip, your recruiting visit to Wisconsin-Lutheran was the first time you'd experienced snow.
Snow, yeah.
0 degrees, and you still committed.
Yeah. I don't know, something about the coaches that was just really welcoming. Coach Tresky and Coach Foss have always been great leaders and mentors to everything. So they were just really welcoming. The school, everything was pretty cool. So I was like, why not change it up a bit and be far away from home.
And you can stick around after
Yeah.
graduation too. Awesome. All right. Special Teams Player of the Week in the NACC. It's Arnulfo Ortega. And we're going to end, as we always like to do, with 5 questions. Okay, Arnulfo, the first thing that comes to mind, don't overthink these.
Okay.
Number 1, if you could own any car, what would it be?
I would say a Cadillac. I've always been a big fan of Cadillacs. I like Cadillacs a lot.
Number 2, what one class, now that you're a senior, you can kind of reflect on everything you've taken. What one class would you retake just for fun?
Spanish.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Number 3, breakfast cereal question here. Which is the proper pouring method? Do you pour the milk over the cereal, or do you fill the bowl with the milk first and then put the cereal in after?
Cereal gotta go first. Cereal, then milk.
Cereal, then, okay.
Yeah.
That's a little more contentious than you think. I think more people go milk first than I realized over time. But
That's pretty
traditional.
interesting, yeah.
Traditional. Number 4, the insect that creeps you out the most is
I hate bugs in general, insects.
any one particular type of bug.
A beetle.
Beetle.
Yeah.
So let's say you're approaching a kick and a giant ladybug lands on the football. No, you're kicking it anyway. All right, that's done. Number 5, what weather element, and this is now interesting after what we talked about, what weather element do you hate the most?
Heavy wind. Bad wind. When we played at CU Dub, those were some 30, 40 miles per hour, and it's not fun at all.
Right on Lake Michigan.
Yeah.
Spoken like a true kicker. And your bonus question, what is your most famous celebrity encounter?
I grew up being a big WWE fan.
Okay, I like where this is going. I feel you on this.
I think the coolest person like I've been able to meet is Jeff Hardy.
Really?
Yeah. So it was like a one-on-one, like after the event type thing, and I was able to get a picture with him, get my little wrestler signed, and it was
Really?
pretty cool. I think that's been like the coolest one that I could see.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
He didn't like jump off a ladder or something when he did anything like that. Okay. Arnulfo Ortega, the NACC Football Special Teams Player of the Week. Congratulations on all the success in your career, the win at Lakeland, and all the best
Yeah.
at against Aurora on Saturday.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thanks for watching, everybody.